Alright, everyone. Welcome to another video. If any of you seen yesterday, I finished my Echo review. Gotta say, wasn't very good. I had a lot of problems with it. If you want to find all my problems with it, you can watch my Echo videos. I will put a link to the playlist of those videos in the description. But today, we're just going to talk about something I did enjoy, actually. And as you guys know, my editing style is super not very much there. There's a little bit of editing. I know, surprising, but I do have a little bit of editing. But we're gonna talk about Godzilla Minus One. Um, because you know what? I like this movie. If you hadn't seen this movie, you should have. I don't know if it's still in theaters, but I don't think it is. It's been quite a bit now. But if you didn't get to see it, go see it if it's still in theaters. Here, I'll actually look it up for you, because um, well, would you look at that? There is still some theater time here. I mean, there's only one theater near me, but that's still playing it. But hey, there's still theater time, so you could watch it. But yeah, if you can, watch the movie if you haven't. This movie was great. As a longtime Godzilla fan, basically lifetime, I've been in love with Godzilla since I was probably about 6. You know, um, so this movie, it gave a lot of what I feel like was missing, and I always love seeing this logo. Uh, but yeah, we're just gonna give my general thoughts today. There's not This video is not really like positives, negatives, nothing like that. Just general thoughts on it. And why I think you should go see the movie. Um, so I'm not gonna even go into spoilers. I'm just gonna yeah, just gonna tell you go see it basically. Uh, this movie was great from a storytelling perspective, a Godzilla telling perspective. Um, it reminds me a lot of, the original, which I believe that's what they were going for. It has a lot of similar beats as the original, a lot of feeling as the original. Obviously, Godzilla's not in a rubber suit in this one, which, if you really want to make it feel like the original, but no, we don't need the suit back. It's okay. I mean, I would like the suit back. It'd be fun to see once in a while, but yeah, no, they just have it's CGI, which I understand. CGI can make Godzilla look a little bit more real, things like that. But you know, I do miss the days of the Godzilla in the rubber suit with the miniature city. It just made it feel a little bit more real, actually, because it really was there. But it does make it feel a little bit more goofy because Godzilla moves maybe a little bit quicker than he should. Um, Comparing this movie to the other Godzilla movies that have been out, I would say the legendary picture ones have not been very similar to this. They're more of like the goofy Godzilla. I mean, like the first one, 2014, it was more serious, but the other two, King of Monsters, even Kong Skull Island, and Godzilla vs Kong, they're more like the goofier Godzilla movies from back in the day. So I find there is a place for them. I know some people are like against them because they're too goofy and whatever. But I think there's a place for that. Godzilla's never always just been super serious. Now, yes, some of his better movies are when he is serious. Like I'd say the original is one of the best, and Godzilla Minus One is probably my favorite Godzilla movie ever. But I do find that there is place for Godzilla being more goofy, because then it's a more light movie. It's a there's levity to it. So, you can have your fun movie with the family. Whereas this one, sometimes we don't always need the most serious movies. I know Godzilla is a serious topic and things like that, but I like some of the older goofy movies, and even like Godzilla minus Kong. It's nice to just turn off my brain and not have to think in depth. Now they could make it better, sure. They could make those movies better with characters that like matter more, but I think as is, it's not the worst. Those movies aren't the worst, but this movie's the best. Um, it makes it, it makes Godzilla feel menacing. Um, and the atomic blast in this, holy crap! The atomic breath that they have for Godzilla, I said blast, but the atomic breath is probably my favorite atomic breath ever. Like in the past, it was more of like a like in the older movies. Um, the original, it was just like a steam gas almost. It was more just a straight like steam breath kind of gas attack. I don't really know how else to describe it. That's just what it was. It was just gas basically. As time went on, it became more of like a beam. Um, the Heisei era really had like the beam, I believe. I'm making sure I'm using those terms right because I know there's all the eras of Godzilla, which they all have different guys in the suits, different things like that, different suits even. Um, just making sure. Yeah, Heisei. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Heisei era Godzilla. Um, it is a beam beam, and I believe the one before it too was also a beam. Um, but this atomic breath really does feel like an atomic blast. That's why I keep saying it. It's so terrifying, and the sound design for it was great. The sound design for this movie was great. Um, there's also callbacks to famous other famous movies. I'm gonna see if it's in this trailer. We're just gonna scoot on through here. Oh yeah, it is. Right here in the trailer. That's why I had this trailer up. I thought it was in here, but um, when they're playing this scene, it has a lot of. It went to a different scene, but this scene has a lot of callbacks to Jaws, actually, which was really cool. You don't really see like Japanese media usually doesn't call back to American media. They'll call back to like American ideas or things like that. Some examples of that would be like uh, anime. Actually, the guy that basically not invented anime, but made it kind of what it is. He was inspired by Disney. I mean, and another big example would be like Studio Ghibli. I don't know if it is their main inspiration, but Disney feels like a main inspiration there with how they've made movies. And then like in terms of an anime, My Hero Academia, um, that guy was inspired by Western comics, which I'm sure he's upset by that because those are down the drain because those companies are fucking shitholes. But that's besides the point. Um, but yeah, the Godzilla, the human characters are great. Japan always made decent human characters. Um, I know actually a Godzilla movie that had also really good ones. I think was Godzilla vs. Destroya. In that movie, the humans actually are like super important to that movie. They help stop Destroya to a degree. I mean, they're more stopping Godzilla, but because Godzilla's gonna blow up. Spoilers, by the way, if you haven't seen Godzilla vs. Destroya, that movie's been out for like 30 years. If you haven't seen it, I mean, I don't think you're. It's actually probably been 40 years, but if you haven't seen it, you're not gonna see it. But yeah. Um, other thoughts about this movie? It has a good family dynamic. I'm sure if you've seen other reviews of it, other people talking about it, the family dynamic in this movie is amazing. It's so nice to see when we get a lot of movies recently that just have been kind of goislop, as people would say. It's just like, oh yeah, you know, we can't have a good family for some reason anymore. There's not like a good family. And the only time we get it is when we get foreign films or honestly sometimes when they're talking about Latino families in movies. Sometimes those still have good family structures. I think Coco is an example of that. Coco had a really good family structure. Um, but yeah, I guess that's my thoughts about the movie. I know I just kind of rambled a little bit about a bunch of other things, but if you liked, if you've seen the movie, tell me in the comments. Tell me what your favorite part was. Make sure you put spoilers for anyone that hasn't seen it. If you haven't seen the movie, go see it, and then come back and comment. Say, hey, I watched the movie and it was great. You were right. Um, but yeah, and if you like this video, leave a like. Uh, if you didn't, leave a comment as well saying why you didn't like it. Tell me what I can improve on. Tell me what I could have talked about that would have made this video better. And as always, subscribe. It really does help out the channel. Thank you.